Hi Year 2, it's Thursday and from now on every Thursday we're going to be posting a foundation subjects video. Now the foundation subjects are subjects which aren't English and maths, they are other areas such as history or geography or music or art. Today's lesson is one of my favourite subjects and I think lots of yours too. It's science. For this lesson, all you need to have in front of you is a pencil and a piece of paper. Writing is going to be optional, so it's your choice, but you might want to jot down some notes as we go through. If you haven't got a pencil in front of you or a piece of paper, you might want to pause the video now, get yourself ready, and then press play when you're ready to join me again. Okay, let's start today with a bit of a recap then. On your screen you can see two living creatures. We've got the cactus and we've got the elephant. Now I hope you agree that both these things are alive right now. They're alive, they're living. Now these living creatures, like all living creatures, need three things in order to stay alive. We call them their basic needs. Can you think about what three basic needs both these creatures need in order to stay alive? So there are three things that without them they would just die. Have a little think. Have you got an idea? Okay. So the first thing that both these living creatures need is water. Without water, they would just die. The second thing is food. Both these living creatures, like all living creatures, need food to stay alive. Now the cactus gets its food from the sun and nutrients from the soil, whereas the elephant eats its food, just like we do. And the third thing is air. Now the cactus takes the carbon dioxide from the air and the elephant breathes in oxygen from the air. Now sometimes we say that some living creatures need a fourth thing, which is shelter. That's somewhere that protects them from danger or protects them from bad weather or from predators, like a house or a den, something like that. Now, living creatures get these basic needs from the places that they live, and in science we call these places their habitat. We're going to look today at some different types of habitats and have a look at some of the animals that might live in them as well. So all across the world you will be able to find different types of habitat. Some might be hot, some might be cold. Have a look at the pictures on your screen now. Do you think you can name any of these habitats? You might like to write your ideas down, and if you're finished, why don't you think about any other habitats that you can think of which might be found around the world? Okay, let's name a couple then. So, at the top here we've got a polar habitat. Here we've got the mountains. This one's the oceans or the sea. Over here is coastal or beach. Here's the rainforest. Here's the desert. We've got woods or forests. And down here is the savannah or the grasslands. Which ones do you think are found in the UK? If you said the beach, you're right. If you said the woods, you're right. And if you said the mountains, you're right. Have a think now to yourself. How would you describe these habitats? What do you think it's like to be in one? Is it going to be hot or cold? What might you see? Maybe you can write your ideas down. If you're not sure, I'm going to give you a website at the end of this to have a look at, which gives you some more detail about each of these habitats. Let's have a look then at some of the animals which can be found living in each of these places. Now animals are really clever. Over time they have developed special features which help them to live in their habitats. That means they have special parts of their body which help them survive in certain places. Now not all of these animals will live in the same place. I wonder whether you can think about which habitat these animals come from. Shall we find out? So, let's start with the polar bear. He lives in the polar habitat. Over here we have got a green iguana, and they are from the rainforest. The tiger also lives in the rainforest, and the crab is on the beach. The camel belongs in the desert, and the giraffe lives in the savannah. Now, I thought I would do a bit of research and pick one of these animals and find out how they've adapted to live in their habitat. So I thought I'd do a bit of research about polar bears and try and find out some of the ways they've adapted to live in their polar environment. And I found out that polar bears have got white fur which helps them to camouflage in the snow. That means they blend in with the colour of the snow so that nobody can see them coming, which is great for hunting, isn't it? I also found out they've actually got 2 layers of fur, and apparently that's to keep them warm. They've also got a layer of blubber or fat on them. And apparently, again, that's to keep them warm, to keep them insulated, keep them warm. I also found out that they've actually got huge feet. And the reason for this is it helps them to balance on the ice. So maybe you can pick an animal from a certain habitat and do a bit of research and find out how it's adapted to live in its environment. Now, not all habitats are big places. Some are small, and we call these small homes microhabitats. An example of this could be found in your garden. If you look underneath a rock, you'll find lots of living creatures call this their home. Have a look at the video and let's see what creatures you can spot. What could you see? Under this rock is home to lots of different insects, woodlice, ants. They feel safe underneath the rock in the damp soil. More examples of microhabitats could be ponds, grass, and in hedges. I wonder what microhabitats you might spot in your gardens or on your walks. That's the end of our video. Maybe now you can go away and complete some of our challenges. So the first challenge is a research and write challenge. How about you go away and research a habitat using the Bite Size website and find out which animals and plants live there. The second challenge is an explore and draw challenge. Maybe you can draw your favourite habitat with all the animals and plants in it. Or maybe you could go out into your garden or on your walk and find a microhabitat and draw what animals you find living in that. And the third challenge is a create challenge. Why not create your very own habitat using junk modelling from around your house? I hope you had fun today in our science lesson, and we'll see you next week for some more foundation fun.